Hello gamers and welcome to the T832, whatever man. Welcome to the Terminator T832 review. 832 is just too difficult to say. I want to remind you the giveaway is still running. You can win a 1200 euro GPU, 1200 euros in gift cards, all that while also supporting charity. It takes about 10 minutes to get in. We're in the final stretch of people needed for it. And if you want to enter now, really would be the time. However, let's get into this tank. We get Studzianki, my favorite map in the whole wide world. I love Studzianki. And this tank is basically a T32. It is a T32 with, I'm going south, whatever. It's a T32 with less DPM and better gun handling, if I remember. And believe it or not, this gun handling thing is actually pretty nice because it allows you to run HP turbo on this tank. You can use vents on smaller maps where you don't need turbo, I can see that. You can get behind it altogether. Does indeed not sound like a bad idea. But yeah, HP turbo is pretty nice to have on the tank and run it, and the gun handling is going to feel really nice on top of that, even with HP turbo. So that is a big benefit that you have on this tank. You have less DPM, of course. You also have the 320 alpha, but like not such high AP. You spend 218 and then 252 on the premium. I want to remind you that that means that against tier 9s, against tier 10s, this is going to be not such a cheap tank to play because of the fact that you have indeed that, I'm going to call it that low-ish AP pen, which is going to make this more expensive to play. They're not the highest alpha in the world either, of course, with the 320. Those are all things you have to keep into account when playing this vehicle. Let me also say that indeed I understand that it sucks for free-to-play players that they cannot get this tank without spending gold on it. However, I also want to, not to play devil's advocate, but say that collaborations cost money, and 3,500 does not seem like a very steep price. Of course, I know you have to complete the battle pass stages as well. Like a steep price to get a premium tank per se. So like on both hands, I understand that it sucks for free-to-play players. On the second hand, I like collaborations, and collaborations cost money. And this is Wargaming's way of recouping it while also draining resources from the holiday ops. I personally don't see the big issue as long as at some point they do another marathon where somebody can get a tank, not particularly this one, without having to spend money, because it's been a while since we've had one, then sure. So it's like both ends. I understand it's not nice for free-to-play players, but at the same hand, collaborations they just cost money, and I don't think 3,500 is a very steep price, because they could have also put this tank in the premium store for 40 euros and just been like, that's the price, you know. So. But yeah, we got Studzianki, we committed into the dip. We have to be really careful now though, because we have no teammates left outside of the AMX30. And if he dies, then I have only the T28 prototype with me anymore, and that would be pretty rough. But you can see so far this gun, incredible handling for not having a stabilizer. And I would like to put out again that usable DPM and actual DPM are two different things. I mean, right now, it does not matter whether I have the greatest DPM or not. I don't have another shot anyways. The thing that you could say is a bit of a downside is the 320 alpha. And I also want to say this tank kind of works against the BZs when you're sitting in hold-on because they're not penning you. It's like a T32. A T32 is a really good, really good turret to play with. It's very, very nice. You can also side scrape. So in that regard, you know, a T32 with better gun handling is, in my opinion, not a... There's a showing buildings here, so if somebody tries to run away or something, I can actually see it. It's actually pretty cool so far. Like, I like the way the gun handles. Of course, I like the hold-on potential of the T32. It's still pennable. It's not invincible, but it's solid, right? So now you have a T32, which is just going to be hitting its shots. What would make this really busted if it had 360 alpha? I think this is going to end up being just a pretty good, comfortable tank to play, with the downside of the AP pen not being that great, which means that in higher tier MMs you are going to be shooting a lot of premium to, of course, get the penetrations in. That being said though, against tier 8s and lower, it should be more than fine to play with the AP ammunition and have a fine performance. Of course, ID sucks. And another good thing about this tank actually is the crew layout. American tanks have a lot of crew, and this one has this also. And the good thing about that is that you don't need that many crew skills to actually be useful. If you compare it to, for example, you know, a Manticore or whatever, something with 2-3 crew members. That was a terrible shot by me. Something with 2-3 crew members, then you of course have the issue there that you need a lot of skills in all of your crew members for it to be useful. You don't have that problem on this tank because you have so many crew members, so even with a bad crew, you're gonna be doing pretty fine most of the time. Did even 90, and really the gun handling of this thing is amazing. By the way, like the way the gun like reacts, responds, even when turning the turret is, it is a joy. The thing that's not a joy though is Studzianki in general. Studzianki in general, not a joy. Not a joy to play on, not a joy to be on. There's a TDMK0, there's always a TDMK0 though. There always is. I can't wait for the rework of this map because it's a disgusting map, IMO. It's just not fun to play for anybody involved. Because I've taken the dip and now I just have to, well, what do we call it? Sit here, hope, pray, whatever you want to call it, until my team either wins or loses. And it's probably going to be 15 minutes before we come to that conclusion. I can go here though and sit behind the bush. However, I don't like this too much either because we don't have control over the south with anybody. He's speaking wide though. I shot there into his engine. But yeah, like I said, the gun on this is pretty nice. I like the gun. I like playing with this gun. It gives me a good feeling. Gotta be careful though that not to get spotted to my second shot here. But I'm a big fan of like tanks that are not OP but have a decent gun, because we'll get to the BZ review at some point. The BZ, it's probably a balanced tank, but it has just another fun gun to play. And there's plenty of weak spots, but it trades that off for not really anything else in particular outside of having rockets. Now the Scorpion G is pushing the south though. I spot him out. Almost hit the flick. Almost hit that flick. I gotta be a bit careful now. My team's running over the north to not get pushed by the Progetto while I'm at it. So I'm gonna be backing off slightly here. I don't know if they're gonna be able to kill that though. I don't think so. So that's gonna be a bit of an issue for me. You can also not go too far to the left here because then I get shot by the Scorpion tree. We do have a Scorpion behind them though. But my north side is falling, and I don't think that I can push the Scorpion here because of the Progetto position. I don't even think I can peek this reliable. I don't even think I'm gonna be able to spot him, for that matter. But I feel like I have to do something though. They are taking over the north. Well, sometimes you just gotta be a chance. Got a good shot on the Scorpion there. He's gonna be re-aiming towards me. He's actually pushing up on against the T28. I'll give him one more, and I hope that he doesn't kill the T28 before the T28 reloads. I think we should be fine though. I think he killed the T28. Epic! Well done, mister. Now I gotta check for the south again. If something's happening here, like with the G-Star and the Progetto. The Progetto jumped behind me now, which is fine actually, if you think about it. I could reverse because the Progetto is still pushing me, and this is a big benefit of having turbo, by the way. I just want to point this out already. The fact that I'm able to reverse. He tracks me though. I was going to be able to reverse behind the wreck without taking like one, maybe two. But since he tracks me, gun misses. But in general, this gun is amazing. It's a true joy to play with. And I know I'm spamming a lot of premium here, which is going to definitely upset the YouTube commenters in a way. Because, Taki, it's premium. You're not allowed to do that. But I'm just trying to see what this tank can do when played in, I guess, more of an optimal scenario. And so far, this beauty seems to be doing just fine. Dan, it's I really, really like this gun. I'm a big fan of tanks that like are, you know, this is a good hold on tank, but like tanks in general that are pretty balanced. But I think this is balanced, right? Because it doesn't have any DPM. But trade off like, I don't know, alpha for having just a better gun handling. I love that so much. Because I'd rather have like a worse tank with a better gun than a better armor tank with like a worse gun. In general. Like, I want to like, it's just frustrating to play tanks that have, how do you say it? That have bad guns. Like if a tank has a bad gun, I'm probably not going to enjoy it too much. I think I might be dead here against the juicer though. He misses the first. Not having DPM here though kinda sucks. He bounced one, I might be fine. I am gonna be fine. And of course American driver does remain an American driver. I mean, the Uda's got me, I guess. I guess the Uda's got me. Game is gonna go the whole way though, I would assume. I mean, unless they somehow figure out my ISU, but I don't think that's gonna happen. But a pretty good game though. I mean, versus Yankee doing 5.4. We don't have any blinds because we didn't fire any blinds. And yeah, I think this is just gonna be a pretty enjoyable tank to play. Necessarily, if you think of the usability, can you play it in frontline? I guess yeah, you can play it in frontline. People play Renegade in frontline. Why wouldn't you be able to play this? Like yeah, it has. If this ISU got spotted, the game's over. Yeah. Like of course, yeah, the alpha is less than a Renegade, but the hold-down ability of this tank is higher than a Renegade because of the cupola just not being as big and not being as obvious. So that part I do really like, and the gun of this is also really nice. Of course, like I said, the low AP pen. It's something you can play around. It's not the most comfortable thing to do. If you have intuition, you can definitely manage to play with a balance setup between AP and premium. If you're grinding credits and you have a clan booster and a personal booster, you're still going to be making credits even if you shoot premium. Yeah, big fan of this gun, really. Just a big fan of this gun. I love a good old reliable American gun. It just feels like I'm gonna be hitting, and I can afford to play HP Turbo. And HP Turbo, like I said, is just such a nice thing to have. You know, because you get all the bonuses you would want in the world: forward speed, reverse speed, rotation speed, track protection, track repair, overall HP, and best of all, this tank doesn't really get bullied by BZs. Of course, if they can shoot your hull, then they can pen, but in hold down, doesn't really get bullied by BZs. If it's third against third, the BZ can go suck a nut because he ain't doing anything normally. Is this worth 3.5k gold? And the time, I would say probably yes. Actually, I would definitely rate this above, for example, a Carney X. Like I would definitely say that it's better than a Carney X. And I think most of you will be like, Renegade, because you're all Renegade fanboys for some reason, even though I really don't think the Renegade is that good. Unfortunate bounce from the Udas. I'd rather play this than a Renegade. I don't like the Renegade Alpha. Like I like the Renegade Alpha. I prefer this third in gun though over the Renegades. I guess they did a... Is this really gonna pen this? I guess I did a good job with this tank, in terms of like, I don't think this is OP. It doesn't have the DPM for it, and it's definitely not garbage, so it's above average. It's not better than a Skoda, for example, or I would say even a 703 in terms of premium heavies, because, you know, those are just nuts for farming, and farm means credit. The Skoda picks it up, but overall, pretty good tank, actually. I mean, people were laughing about the DPM of it, but still, DPM is only a thing, or only really matters if you're going to be able to shoot the whole time uninterrupted. If you can't do that, then your DPM number becomes already like very less meaningful. Yeah, so far, I'm a fan of it. I mean, then again, I also like the Carnarvon, which is, you know, that tank has epic DPM though. But yeah, I like the credits report here. I don't have personal boost running, of course, and I shot a lot of premium could have gotten away with shooting less. I'm trying to show you what the tank can do in a more optimal loadout. So I made 34k credits with clan booster and personal booster. I would have made a lot more, because 30% from clan boosters, 50% from personal boosters. Definitely be making around 100k in that battle. And yeah, you could load less AP if you want to use intuition, but I just want to show you what the tank's capable of. So I'm going to be going for that. Now we get, what do we call this? Fisherman's Bay in a T8 format again. In this tank, I mean, I was thinking about pushing City, but I don't know about it. Pushing City with a low alpha heavy is just really not that good in general. But they do have 3 light things, so and 3 light things is kind of annoying for the middle, because you get outspotted left, right, and center all the time. So that's like another problem by itself. But I don't have enough tanks going city to justify going city and pushing it. So I'm not gonna be doing that. I'm gonna play in the middle and then pray that somehow my lights outplay their lights, which is gonna be an interesting thing by itself as well. But yeah, when thinking about it, I feel like I covered most of the bases of this tank. Less DPM than a T32, better gun handling than a T32. The benefit of this is the equipment loadouts, and equipment matters more than you would think. So in that regard, I think that's pretty epic. I love playing tanks with HP turbo, so the fact that I can do this comfortably without really being worried at all on this tank is a real joy. That is such a highlight of this tank, actually. The ability to do that without really giving up anything is, for me, amazing. It really is amazing. They have BZs in the city. They have 5 tanks in the city, which means we should be winning 1-2 off. Okay. Okay, I see it. We're pushing 1-2 now, which means I might be pushing across the middle soon. I was tempted to go towards the city, but they have too many tanks there. This means that normally we are able to push out 1-2 pretty effectively. They have a batch of 12T still there though. That is that. The Lynx is now making a spotting run. I'm going to be going here to find a different angle on the guys in the middle. Bra seems to be running. Ran in line with the building though, so good job to him. I spotted out the Iron Irony. Bounced the side of the Iron Irony, that's unfortunate. There's an issue and a Borsig in the 9-0 line. God, I really like this gun. I really like this gun. It just feels reliable. Like, it actually just feels like reliable. Like, I don't have to be afraid of the shell just randomly missing. I mean, the Iron Irony is just, you know, the Iron Irony, right? What you gonna do against an Iron Irony? It has pretty good armor all around. I mean, I could snipe his cupola if he has the balls to peek me again. Come on, buddy. Don't be afraid. Everything's gonna be alright. I would love it if we started pushing out 1-2, but this doesn't seem to be happening right now. It's a slight shame because I would love it if they did. Woo! I killed the Barask, apparently. Okay. I thought I hit the Bisonte, but apparently I just killed the Barask. Yeah, bounce of the cupola there. I'm gonna be, if they were not pushing out 1-2, I'm gonna be moving back towards the city, by the way. Because it's taking me a bit too long to push out this 1-2 lines. And they're starting to really push up the city. So that should be shootable for me, farmable for me. To help out my last remaining IS-6. Actually, I don't have shots on it anymore. I'm even tempted to push across this side of the middle now and play against the Bisonte and the other guy. The IS-6 actually peeked that. I wasn't paying attention. And they could be really heavily pushing the city. I actually really want to go across here and fight the Bisonte, to be fair with you. I just think that's a really good play at this moment in time. I hate that it does that, where it sticks the gun into the highest part that it can find for some reason. Get out to the Bisonte though, with a pretty good shot. I need to start watching for those guys in the city. IS-6 is probably safe. Right now he is. Not fully though, but yes. BZ pushing through. Should be in the open again in a second though, I guess. Okay, that was really bad aim though. I would blame the gun for it, but I cannot after praising it into the heavens. Scorpion G, 1-2. Another 1-2 behind the rock. Give him a shot. You see though, like, shell speed there is not great. But 900 meters is still more than fine. God, I mean, I know that I'm just shooting a BZ driving through the open, but in general, I just feel like whenever I shoot with this gun, I'm going to hit. And that's a great feeling to have at any time. It's really a great feeling to have that you, like, trust your gun to be hitting the shots that you're going for. It just makes it feel ultra reliable. And for a tier 8, we're always aiming, like, for DPG-wise for us, we're aiming about 3k. Because a lot of tier 8s are able to do 3k. If you do well in them, and this tank seems to be just fine at that. And you know, this tank has two things which make it for me really nice, and I don't even think we'll need to play a third battle in. It's the fact that I feel reliable in hold down. I can still get penned by the enemy team, like of course they can still pen me, but I feel reliable in hold down, and on top of feeling reliable in hold down, I also have the feeling that my gun is going to be hitting where I am aiming. And it's such a nice combination of things, on top of playing HP turbo, which gives me that forward speed, makes my tank feel a lot more mobile, gives me that reverse speed as well. With having that as well in combination, I don't really care that it has such a long reload. If I can hit my shots reliably, then why would I care if I have like a slightly longer reload compared to its counterparts? Like slightly less DPM. Like, okay, I can live with it. What do I get in return? I get a superior equipment setup, and I get a superior gun. So yeah, actually, I think this tank is pretty good. Like I said, I think intuition is a must. Again, think that this tank will not be that cheap to play. I'm being a dirty premium whore here, so there's that. But I think in general, this tank is going to be pretty decent for the price that it is. I know you have to put in the time as well, but for the price that it is and the performance that it delivers, especially, even, you don't get friend by BCs, which is pretty nice. Yeah, I would get it. Personally, I would get it. For me, myself and I, as just like, it's a better T32. It feels like a better T32, like a more reliable T32. I enjoyed it, playing it, because I had the combination of reliable hold on with a reliable gun, with a nice equipment setup on top of it. Yeah. I think I don't need to say anything else about it, really. I think I covered all of it. Main points are good hold down, really good gun, decent mobility, decent side scrape. So it has a bit of everything. Downsides, alpha is not the highest, AP pen is not the highest either. So it's going to be more expensive to play against tier 9s, tier 10s, which again, every premium kind of is. And you can put DPM on a downside as well. But overall, I felt like this was a really good tank. I know I only did the 2 battles on this, but I think I really covered everything that I needed to show. And I think I played a few battles before this as well, so I have 4k after 4 battles on this. Still made 46k here again, shooting more premium than I really had to, and also not having any boosters. I like this tank. You have to decide for yourself if it is worth it. I like it. I hope the gameplay showed you some stuff as well. In terms of equipment setups, I have HP Turbo Rammer. On small maps, you can use HP Vents Rammer. And then on the field mods, pretty standard. I don't use this. Maintenance speed, don't need it. Aiming circle size reduction. And then extra view range. As always, gamers, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope it taught you some tips, tricks, and insights on whether this tank is worth the time, money, and effort that you put in. Thank you for watching. See you guys in the next one. Peace.